A look at beautiful Cheyenne Mountain on this Monday, September 14th morning. In the 11 Breaking News Center, you get a look there. I'm John Wiener. We are in the 11 Breaking News Center set here in the KKTV11 newsroom. I'm John Wiener. We're glad you're with us on a Monday morning. Hope everybody had a great weekend. What weather we had outside. Absolutely fantastic. NFL football kicked off, which was exciting. And of course, the Broncos kicking off tonight. You can follow me on Facebook at John Wiener KKTV. You'll see it on your screen right there. Encourage you to get involved with the conversation. Tell us what you're thinking, what you're seeing out there, and what you want to know. Most importantly, the 11 Breaking News Center, if you're just now joining us. Again, in-depth coverage, breaking news whenever it happens, all day, right to your mobile phone, laptop, smart device, whatever it is. It's 2020. We know you want to be updated all the time when news is happening. The biggest stories, the best stories, in-depth coverage. And you want it on your phone. You want it on your laptop. You want it on your computer. And, of course, we encourage you to watch the 11 news on the television programs as well, which you can also see on your laptop. Just click on the live newscast. We'll be here for the next 2 hours, taking you up to 11 news at noon. And big stories across the state and the country. Wildfires continuing to ravage the West Coast. And we'll take a look here at the damage fallout from the Cameron Peak fire in Colorado and the Gulf Coast down in my neck of the woods, prepping for Tropical Storm Sally, which is expected to become a hurricane. And we'll look at what New Orleans specifically is doing to prepare for the tropical storm, as we are right around hurricane season again. I can remember so vividly around this time when Hurricane Katrina hit, and so it's always close to home when you're talking about hurricanes developing in the Gulf Coast. So this is just a tropical storm right now, but we will keep an eye on Sally. Some cool stuff around here from this weekend. You will not believe this. A daring civilian rescue, burning car on I-25. We'll have a great story there. And the area's largest school district returning to in-person learning today in District 20, and a Monday fun day. Not a Sunday fun day, it's a Monday fun day when the Denver Broncos are playing on Monday night. They open the season against Tennessee at Empower Stadium, Mile High Field, and it's on Monday Night Football, which is super exciting. We've actually got a post up on our Facebook page right now, facebook.com/KKTV11 News, where you can weigh in on your thoughts on the Broncos this season. And we'll have a preview of that with Richie Cozzolino, our 11 Sports reporter. And then later today, Taylor Kilgore is going to be live in Denver at the stadium, so I'm excited to talk with Taylor. That'll be in our afternoon session. Again, we're 10 to 12 and 2 to 4 here every day on KKTV.com. I'm John Wiener. You can see right there where to follow me on Facebook. I need some Colorado followers, and I want you to get involved with the show and the conversation. But we're going to be talking to Taylor live from the Broncos game, ahead of the Broncos game. So I'm really excited about that. And I know all of you guys are for. I am being from the South and having been there the last 8-9 years, college football is king. Now, I'm a Saints fan. Saints won yesterday, beat Tom Brady and the Buccaneers. I know that made a lot of you guys happy. But college football is really reigns supreme in that Deep South area. But here, I am just excited about what the NFL means and how excited people are for NFL football here in Colorado Springs, in Denver, the state of Colorado. I saw a lot of Packers fans going around on Sunday in Colorado Springs. What's that about, guys? I'm not sure what's the Packers influx here in Colorado Springs, but I know a lot of you ready for the Broncos tonight. Some news from around the nation, some major unrest in Los Angeles after 2 deputies were shot in their patrol car over the weekend. We'll hear President Trump's thoughts on that. We'll look at the protests happening in Los Angeles and kind of recap what happened for you. Some mixed feelings on the push for coronavirus vaccine. We're hearing as early as October, which is next month, I think, September, October, from President Trump in the White House, and a lot of medical officials sharing their thoughts on that and what's happening with the vaccine development currently as we speak. We'll look at that, and the presidential campaigns take center stage again today. Mike Pence, the vice president, is in Wisconsin for a Make America Great Again rally, and then he's going to Bozeman, Montana, where he's going to meet with GOP officials there, and former vice president and Democrat Democrat nominee Joe Biden is in Delaware today, and he's going to speak about climate change and the wildfires specifically happening in the West Coast, California, Oregon, Washington. Of course, we've experienced here in Colorado too. So Joe Biden, we will listen to and see both of those live as they happen here on the 11 Breaking News Center again. And President Trump is in the western southwest region today. He's in Arizona specifically. He was in Nevada yesterday. We will hear from President Trump again. That's going to be a little later on in the afternoon. So this is the 11 Breaking News Center. Let's take a look around Colorado Springs right now. Again, beautiful Cheyenne Mountain. What a sight. And after the weather we experienced last week, we are in for clear and sunny skies right now. Just as nice as it gets right there. A look from atop Cheyenne Mountain. Check things out down in Pueblo. This from our St. Mary Corwin camera down in Pueblo. Again, beautiful clear skies. All clear on I-25. It was not this weekend. There was some eventful stuff on I-25. See Pikes Peak there in the distance. I'm just amazed again at the scenery here, constantly breathtaking. I want to stop my car and take pictures all the time of the beautiful Rocky Mountains. But all clear on I-25. Again, wait till you get a load of this rescue that happened this weekend. That 11 News reporter, Catherine Silver, has the story on, and just crazy video. And again, nothing to make light of, but it was an absolutely heroic civilian rescue on I-25. But that's a look at I-25 right now. Again, hit us up on Facebook. You can follow me directly. I'm going to put that on the screen. Facebook.com/John Wiener KKTV, or just search John Wiener KKTV. Want to get you involved with this in-depth breaking news type coverage here. And downtown Colorado Springs, from right on top of us. This is the roof here at KKTV. Again, everything, compared to the weather last week when you had smoke in the city from the Cameron Peak fire on Monday, you had a cold front come in and then snow smother the city Tuesday, and that stayed sort of through Thursday, got on out of there, and then this weekend we just had picturesque postcard weather and monument. Take a look at current conditions. Now I'll show you how you can do this, the best way for you to do it. You're right on our website, I know already, so KKTV.com. Click on the weather page. And we'll be live with Lucy later on, but it is a very quiet pattern ahead, and this is as good as it gets right here. 75 and sunny. Winds 8 miles an hour out of the south. Feels like 75. We got a sunset of 7 o'clock. That number starts to get a little earlier and earlier. Chagrin for me. I like to sneak out late in the day and play a little Twilight 9 holes. Tough to do that right now, but that's okay. Although with the weather being as nice as it is, it's the best part of the year right now for your outdoor activities. And again, tell me what you did this weekend. Send me some pictures. Manitou Incline. Talked to somebody, they took bikes up Pikes Peak. I saw bikers going up Pikes Peak moving at like 1 mile an hour. Big shout out to Joe, our engineer, and all of our engineers for making the 11 Breaking News Center possible. You guys just have no idea what kind of technology we have here. I still have no idea what kind of technology is. But the whole KKTV news team's done a great job of putting all this together where we can bring you in-depth coverage all day on whatever device you're watching on or got in your pocket. Again, we'll take a look at the hourly forecast, looking up towards the Broncos game tonight. 76 and sunny, 0 precipitation, all things clear. We're going to visit with Taylor Kilgore later on. And that'll really be in the afternoon, as she's going to be at Empower Stadium. You know, I grew up calling it Mile High Stadium, and I'm having to, all of these sponsor names on the stadium are tough to keep track of sometimes. But again, Mile High Field, and Taylor Kilgore is going to be up there getting you guys ready for the Broncos, and we will talk with her later on in the day. And we check out a quick 3-day forecast. Mostly sunny, mid-80s, nice as it gets. Small chance of precipitation on Wednesday. But unfortunately, the situation with the wildfires in California, Oregon, and Washington continues to worsen. Dozens of people dead and missing. That death tolls up now to over 35 in all the combined areas. More than 500,000 people have been evacuated. Areas close to Los Angeles and Portland, again, as these fires get closer to. And I'm going to step out 1 second. Breaking news, just got some shirts delivered. Oh, you can see them right there at the bottom of the screen on our newsroom shot. Left hand bottom of the corner. Blue polos. I'm ready for my swag. So we'll get back to, again, the wildfires. It's just a tragic situation and getting worse. That's the bad part about it. More than 500,000 people have been evacuated, again, around Los Angeles, around Portland, and just devastation everywhere. Let's take a closer look.
With a record 6 million acres of land burning up and down the West Coast, governors from Washington to California say this fire season is proof of a climate emergency. Firefighters are grappling with deadly wildfires across the West.
We went for more than 50 hours straight, no sleep, just going from fire to fire to fire.
Searches are ongoing for dozens of people missing in California, Oregon, and Washington. More than 24 fires are burning in California alone.
It gives you a feeling of helplessness, and you don't know who to turn to or where to go and what to take from the home.
Residents forced to flee their homes, many on a moment's notice. Thousands of structures have been destroyed since mid-August.
It is also important, if you have this evacuation warnings, to be ready to go in case the fire and the wind takes a fire in a different direction, affecting your homes.
Officials hope improved weather conditions over the next few days could help.
Our biggest challenge now is fatigue and safety of the firefighters that have been out there since the beginning.
But for those who've already lost everything,
I cried for a long time.
It will be too little, too late.
We were married 41 years. Everything we owned is gone.
President Trump is expected to visit California later today and will receive a briefing on the situation for the fires not only in California but across the entire West Coast. But he will not visit any of the fire-stricken areas. In Sierra Madre, California, Connor Powell, back to you.
Well, here's what residents in the area, again, are going through on the ground as they deal with lost loved ones, lost property, lost homes, lost normalcy. Just, again, just awful. I mean, we've seen the sights from San Francisco, the orange skies, over the Golden Gate Bridge, to up in Oregon with the evacuations, again, around Portland. 500,000 people evacuated from that area. It's bigger than the entire state of Rhode Island and about a tenth of the state's whole population. So let's take a closer look at what those people are going through on the ground. And you guys have been through it here, especially up in the northernmost parts of the state recently with the Cameron Peak fire. Again, and here's just a further look. This really, and it's such a big story right now that it has shifted the conversation in the presidential campaign to where President Trump will be visiting and speaking about the wildfires today, as well as Joe Biden in Delaware.
The Bobcat fire forced mandatory evacuations yesterday as it moved closer to homes north of Los Angeles. Greg Vanny isn't sure if his 100-year-old cabin in the San Gabriel Mountains survived.
It's like the 7 plagues, biblical sense.
The raging wildfires have burned thousands of structures up and down the West Coast and left everywhere from California to Canada with dangerously bad air quality.
It looks kind of post-apocalyptic, actually. It's kind of spooky.
In Northern California, the North Complex fire has killed more than a dozen people.
My mom was a really cool chick.
Holly Catarancic's mother, Millicent, is among the victims.
When I didn't hear from her when I woke up, I knew something was wrong because I knew that if my mom had gotten out, she would have called us immediately.
Today, President Trump attends a briefing with CAL FIRE in Sacramento County.
I think he needs to go in and see what's going on and see the destruction that's happening.
The president addressed the wildfires last night at a rally in Nevada.
Like the biggest we've ever had. It's crazy what's going on. Thousands and thousands and thousands of acres. It's crazy.
Jay Inslee, the Democratic governor of Washington, said President Trump needs to take climate change more seriously.
And these people whose homes were destroyed that I've seen with their tears in the last few days, they deserve action against climate change.
In Oregon, more than 1 million acres burned last week alone, double compared to a typical year. Laura Podesta, CBS News.
Astonishing, awful video to look at of the devastation ravaging the entire West Coast. You heard the words apocalyptic, biblical, crazy from President Trump, and just sad and tragic and just unbelievable to comprehend, really, for me or for anyone. So, 11 Breaking News Center, it is 10:15, 10:16 on a Monday morning. We're glad you're with us. Later on, we'll immediately coming up after the break, we'll take a look at our morning weather forecast at what has happened with the damage from the Cameron Peak fire here in Colorado. Again, a look at the tropical storm Sally developing in the south. We hope it's not going to be a hurricane, but it likely is. So New Orleans really battening down the hatches. A whole lot more coming up in a Monday fun day. Again, the Denver Broncos kicking off the NFL season tonight up in Denver, so we'll have a preview for that as well. Glad you're with us on a Monday morning. Hit me up on Facebook, facebook.com at John Wiener KKTV 11. I'll figure out my own Facebook handle here for you in a second. And but again, lots of ways for you to talk with us and tell us what you're seeing, what you want to know, what you want to hear about here on the 11 Breaking News Center and at 11.